All right, this is week 9, part 4. It's probably going to be pretty short and sweet. We are just wrapping up by discussing how to analyze the comprehension components of the QRI, making sure to look at the different levels of comprehension that the questions require of the student. I have actually been reading the book Rigor is Not a Four-Letter Word, and in it they discuss Ciardiello's questions, which I'd actually never heard of, but they definitely pushed my thinking on question types. And he identifies 4 different types of questions. First are memory questions, who, what, when, where. Second are convergent questions, which ask why or how. Third are divergent questions, which are about predicting or imagining, more of those beyond the lines kind of questions. And then lastly are the evaluating type of questions where they have to defend or judge, which would also be beyond reading beyond the lines. So it might be interesting to look at the question types your student is answering correctly and incorrectly and see if there's any sort of pattern as to what type of question it is. Also, Raphael has QAR, question answer relationships, which categorize questions as being, right there or on my own type of questions. So that's something worth investigating as well. Also, this table summarizes the many facets of comprehension. We'll return to this when we do learn about comprehension later in the course, but there's prior knowledge, literal comprehension, interpretive, critical thinking, story parts, word meaning, organizing information, visualizing, analyzing questions, generating questions, summarizing, applying reading strategies, and recognizing and remedying issues. So those are all things to take into account as you are analyzing your assessment results. So taking a look at my assessment results, she got all of the implicit questions correct, but missed this one explicit question here. Why did Mouse dig up the first seed? He really dug it up to see if it was growing, and she said that he thought it was yummy. So that question is incorrect. This is an explicit question because it was stated directly in the passage. So I may need to teach her things like looking back to the text, which I didn't have her do, or also thinking about characters' intentions. Which brings me to conclusions about my student from the QRI-5. She has many strengths, one of them being schema on the topic assessed. She also had a strong use of the semantic cueing system. She read with fluency at pre-primer and primer and had a very high rate of words correct per minute. She is also able to quickly recall many main ideas and details and did well with all of the explicit questions. Her needs and next steps. She needs to use more clues to make detailed predictions. Her prediction only had one idea statement. She's also needing help reading past tense verbs accurately, so she needs to employ more graphophonic cueing versus syntactic cueing. A lot of times she knew that a past tense verb was coming, but didn't look to see that the word she said, for example, digged, was visually similar to the word in the text, which was dug. So that would be something to work on. And then lastly, working on implicit questions, specifically using text evidence and characters' intentions. All right, Sue, these were our objectives for this session. Hopefully you are feeling more confident about analyzing the QRI and taking a look critically at your student's profile as a reader and summarizing those report results for your student. To launch you, I have this quote from the Behind the Test Scores article, which said, simply knowing which children have failed tests is a bit like knowing that you have a fever when you are feeling ill, but having no idea what is causing the fever or what it will take to feel better. So again, going back to that clinical practice of needing to do diagnostics to see what might be causing the fever, or in this case, what might be causing the deficiency in a certain reading skill, and then being able to prescribe certain interventions to correct that. All right, have a great week and an even better spring break week. And I will see you back in week 11 when we begin to work with our new student, our adolescent reader, who can pretty much be any grade 4 and up through high school. So let me know if you need anything. And again, have a very safe, happy, healthy, relaxing spring break.